How many times have you started something with full enthusiasm, only to lose focus halfway through? You open your laptop to work. 2 minutes later, you're scrolling through your phone. You sit to read, but your mind jumps to emails, notifications, the next thing. Your attention is scattered across 1,000 tiny fragments. Swami Vivekananda once said, "The power of attention, when properly directed, is the source of all knowledge." Without focus, even a genius becomes ordinary. But with focus, even an ordinary mind becomes unstoppable. Today I'll show you how to train your mind to reach that unstoppable state through Vivekananda's 7-minute concentration method. We live in an age where distraction is the new disease. Every beep, every buzz, every short video steals a piece of your attention. And attention, my friend, is life energy. If your attention is broken, your life is broken. Because where your focus goes, your energy flows. Vivekananda warned over a century ago, the difference between an ordinary person and a great one lies in the degree of concentration. He knew, mastery is not about talent, it's about the ability to hold one thought unwaveringly. Before he became the great monk known to the world, Vivekananda was young Narendranath, curious, brilliant, but restless. As a student in Calcutta, he could read pages of philosophy, and yet his mind would drift halfway through. He asked his teacher one day, "Sir, how can I develop concentration?" The teacher smiled and pointed to a glass of water on the table. He said, "Think only of this glass for 1 minute." Narendra tried. 10 seconds later, his mind wandered. That day he realized something profound. Concentration isn't natural. It's trained. And that realization became the beginning of his lifelong experiment with focus, an experiment that transformed him from an anxious student into one of the most powerful minds in human history. Vivekananda's insight was simple, but revolutionary. The mind is not your master, it is your servant. Train it, and it obeys. Neglect it, and it rebels. He discovered that most people fail not because they lack discipline, but because they've never learned to direct thought deliberately. The mind is like light. Unfocused, it spreads everywhere. But focused, it becomes a laser. It can cut through doubt, distraction, and fear. And the training he gave his disciples to sharpen this laser was the 7-minute concentration method. The 7-minute concentration method. Step 1, the centering breath. Sit straight. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Do this 3 times, each time longer and slower. As you breathe, silently say, "I am here." This simple act anchors you to the present moment. You're teaching the mind. Focus begins with presence. Step 2, the single thought focus. Choose one simple object, a candle flame, a dot on the wall, or your breath. Now fix your gaze or awareness on it. Vivekananda called this ekagrata, one-pointedness. The goal is not to force concentration, but to return gently every time the mind wanders. Each return is a repetition of mental strength. Each distraction conquered builds the muscle of focus. Step 3, the visualization drill. Close your eyes and picture something clearly, for example the rising sun, or Vivekananda's face, or your own goal. See every detail, color, shape, light, distance. Vivekananda said, "Those who can visualize clearly can create powerfully." This trains the inner eye, the faculty that holds images steady even amidst noise. Step 4, the silent command. Now silently repeat one word, perhaps focus, peace, or strength. Let that word sink into your mind like an anchor. When the mind drifts, whisper it again. This is the final link. Focus through vibration. Your mind learns to obey sound. Step 5, the awareness release. Open your eyes slowly. Observe how quiet, sharp, and alive your surroundings feel. That clarity, that lightness, is concentration awakening. That's your first 7-minute mind training session. Why this works. Each of these steps rewires a specific part of your brain. Breathing calms the amygdala, the fear center. Single point focus strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the seat of decision and attention. Visualization activates the reticular activating system, filtering distractions. Repetition builds neural loops of control. What Vivekananda called concentration is what modern science calls neuroplastic training. Your attention is not fixed, it's trainable, and 7 minutes a day is enough to start changing your brain. One of the most famous stories from Vivekananda's life illustrates this perfectly. During his travels, he once visited a small town where a boy was shooting arrows into floating clay pots. The boy never missed. Every shot hit the exact center. Vivekananda asked, "How did you learn such focus?" The boy replied, "By watching the water flow and hitting only one leaf until I could not see anything else." Vivekananda turned to his disciples and said, "That is concentration. When the whole soul is fixed on one idea, success is inevitable." To build laser focus, repeat this every morning before you start work. 1. 1 minute of centering breath. 2. 2 minutes of single object focus. 3. 2 minutes of visualization. 4. 1 minute of silent command. 5. 1 minute of awareness release. Do it daily for 21 days. Your brain will start craving focus the way it once craved distraction. You'll notice time slows down while you work. Noise fades into the background. You enter flow more often. That's not magic. That's trained attention. Vivekananda believed that concentration is the foundation of all success, spiritual or material. He said, "The one who can control a moment of attention can control the universe." Every saint, scientist, or entrepreneur you admire has mastered this one skill, to hold their mind steady when others scatter theirs. When you practice the 7-minute method, you're doing exactly that. You're not just focusing, you're rewiring your destiny. Let's make it practical for daily life. At work, before opening your laptop, take one centering breath. While studying, every 25 minutes close your eyes and repeat your command word, focus. Before sleep, visualize your top priority for tomorrow. Over time, focus becomes your natural state, not something you chase. One evening, a student told Vivekananda, "Swami, I can't concentrate. My thoughts jump like monkeys." Vivekananda smiled and said, "Then let the monkey jump, but you stay still. Soon the monkey will tire." That's how focus is built. Not by fighting the mind, but by outlasting its restlessness. Take one deep breath now. Feel your heartbeat slowing. That silence you just felt, that's your real power. If you train this silence for 7 minutes a day, you will start living in that silence. Even in noise. Focus is not about effort. It's about alignment. When your thoughts, breath, and action align, you become a living laser beam of purpose. Repeat with me. My mind is sharp, my focus is unbreakable. Say it again. My mind is sharp, my focus is unbreakable. Because the mind you train becomes your destiny. You don't need hours, you just need presence. 7 minutes a day, that's all. Vivekananda proved that one pointed thought is stronger than an army. Now it's your turn to prove it to yourself. Type "I choose focus" below. And remember, distraction is easy. Focus is divine. Train it, live it, and your world will bow to your clarity.